Alright, hope everybody's having a good one. Welcome to Alchemy League in the Last Frontier. Casting with Cookie Pirate. Season 4, of course. Today we've got two sets from, of course, Sprint 1, Round 2. And the two sets that we're going to be covering are Alikog and RedNeal. And then the second set will be WeanDinchester and Wisenatic. Oh, Tech Chariot, welcome. Good to have you, man. Let me go ahead and kick up my stream music here. As always, let me know if it's too loud or too quiet, or if my game volume is too loud or too low, or my microphone volume is too squelchy. So hopefully this isn't too bad. Actually gonna crank the game volume up just a little bit, because it was, when I went back and watched one of the recordings, it did seem a little bit low to me. So, let me just bump that up, and as always, just let me know if I need any sort of adjustment with the sound. Okay, so the first set that we're gonna cover tonight is Alikog and RedNeal. Whoops. It's a good thing you all can't see what I'm messing up on my second screen. Pro caster, pro computer user, all of that good stuff. Alright, so as I'm looking, between Alikog and RedNeal... Okay, yes, so RedNeal does have 5% handicap against Alikog. In Round 2, they are the third and fourth lowest, it looks like. Or, well, maybe that's not the proper way to evaluate it, but their set, I'm guessing the way that they are listed is by descending, I guess average elo, perhaps, between the two of them, balanced out, and their second lowest. But we still have some quite good players. Even if they're seated lower, they are far better than I could ever imagine myself being in this game. And, definitely gonna have some entertaining content. Let's go ahead. Tech, don't jump ahead too fast. I was actually just getting to that. So the maps they've picked, Chandelier Lake, of course, being the map for, map of the round for Round 2. So that's the one that they'll start on. And then Alikog discarded Kenai, Peninsula, Columbia, and Chena Hot Springs. RedNeal discarded Yukon Gold Rush, and Kodiak and Utqiagvik. So that means that Denali is the last remaining map, so that will be the map for the second game. Of course, they start with Chandelier Lake being the map of the round. So, let's take a look now at their Civ draft. Except I call it a Civ draft, but it really isn't. It's just they take turns banning 3 Civs. Alikog bans the Bohemians, the Spanish, and ooh, this is the first time that I remember seeing at least a ban of the Japanese. And we've seen a lot of players use the Japanese on well, I don't know about a lot, but we've seen multiple players use the Japanese, particularly on Chandelier Lake, which is the map of the round. And then RedNeal bans the the Mongols, the Persians. I'm not surprised, but then an interesting pick is to ban the Portuguese. Maybe he did that thinking because of Chandelier Lake, and we're gonna get to that in a moment. Tech says, like Han Solo, you can imagine quite a lot. I've sometimes a little bit better of an imagination than I would like, if that's if that's possible. Okay, so there we go. Let's go ahead and jump right into the games for this set. Sprint 1, Round 2, Alikog versus RedNeal. Here we go, folks. Alright, here we are, Chandeleur Lake. RedNeal is playing as the Hindustanis in red, up here. And Alikog is playing as the Georgians in blue. Here we go. Let's get the game rolling. The Hindustanis were the Indians before the Indian dynasty's expansion. Alikog picking the Georgians is one of the two newest civs, and I actually really do like the Georgians. Keep in mind too, RedNeal does get 5% handicap here. Here on Chandeleur Lake, I have discussed this a bit. This is one of two maps where the seasonal variation actually changes the way the map is played, and I would say this has the most profound impact. Udski-Agvik, which is the map of the round for round 1, also has seasonal variation that changes the way the map is played, but I think that affects it to a lesser extent. Chandeleur Lake, it has a really profound effect. This is the winter version, of course, given snow on the ground, and the lake is frozen over, so that means that you cannot build docks, you cannot, therefore, build ships and sail. However, you can obviously walk across the ice, but a minor rule change that is important on the winter version is that you can actually build on the ice. However, you are limited to building mills, and the reason for that is because there is a ton of shorefish in the locations where the ice is cracked or there are gaps. Alaska bears, we've talked about this before. If you've watched my casts or if you've watched Tech Chariot or Hyder's casts, they've covered these bears. They're basically reskinned, I believe, iron boars. They are tougher than regular boars. They are not typical bear predator behavior, as in, if you get too close, they will chase you, but they will not chase you across the map. They are on defensive mode, so if you run away, they will retreat. The food bears, yes. Alright, we'll take a look at this here. We have, look at this, Alikog using his mule cart to kind of help back up as he's luring the, and you can see the bear turn away, right there. Hopefully Alikog has more luck with them this time, yes. So good use of the mule cart, and he is able to take his bear, and the nice thing about this mule cart is you can move it around and just load up resources into it. Of course, the mule carts are unique to the Georgians and the Armenians, the Mountain Royal civs, and they replace the lumber camp and the mining camp. However, you can still collect, I think, certain types of food and deposit them into there. You can still build a mill, and you can traditionally still build a dock, although dock building is disabled. Well, not disabled, it's just not possible, given that the lake is covered in ice. We have yet to see, I've done 3 casts with this map so far, and all of them have been on the winter version. It's a 50-50 chance, but so far we're 3 for 3 on the winter version. RedNeal looks like he lost a villager to a boar bear, and oh no, he just lost a second one. That's not good, and he is low on health with his Eagle Scout. That's the next thing. On most maps, players are starting with an Eagle Scout. Unique because Eagles... Oh, no! Oh, man. Holy cow. Okay. RedNeal off to a rough start. He's lost 2 villagers and his Eagle Scout. Not good. Not good. Let's see how he recovers from that. If he recovers successfully or not. If that's going to impede him throughout the rest of the match. Anyway, Eagle Scouts. They're just the typical Mesoamerican Eagle Scout. However, if you are not playing as a Mesoamerican civ, you get a little bit of an advantage with the Eagle Scout. And it's twofold. They're very subtle advantages. Number 1, the Eagle Scout is stronger, in the Dark Age than a traditional scout. Number 2, you know if you have your original scout by looking on the map and seeing your Eagle Scout alive. If it's gone, then you know you've lost your starting scout. If you're playing as a Mesoamerican Civ, neither of those apply. Just because you can produce more Eagles, and, well, you would start with one anyway, even if you were assigned a traditional scout. Here we go, Alikog is clicked up into Feudal. See, here we go, he built a mill, and all of the fish on the frozen lake are shorefish. So that means villagers are going to collect them quickly, collect them efficiently, and the rule change allowing you to build a mill on the ice is really useful in the fact that you don't have to send a ton of villagers out to collect fish and then drop a mill perhaps like here at the edge, have to walk a long distance. So that is a really nice rule change that I like. Jack says, but at least he can mill the fish. Yes, he did mill the bear, and he has close access to fish. He built a second mill here. I have a feeling that might be slightly too close. I would have probably built it more back over here, where you could get these and these without having to build really a third mill. But, okay, alright, so Alikog is in Feudal. RedNeal has clicked up. He's about 1 minute 15 seconds out. Let's talk about the starting locations. This map is definitely one of the more aggressive in the map pack. I would say it is probably second to Kenai Peninsula, which we have not seen yet. Now, not every variation has the starting setup configured like this. Of course, Chandelier Lake is based on a real lake in Alaska. And let's see, Texas, what is Alikog doing? Oh, scouts. No, I don't see them yet. Now, here we go. Yeah, he did have a stable out. There's what appears to be our first scout from Alikog. RedNeal has hit Feudal. I did want to talk about too the lake is shaped like an L or kind of a boomerang, and sometimes players start kind of at the edge of the lake. On some configurations they start more inward, which kind of forces them closer together and makes the map even more aggressive. Here we go, Alikog is sending some scouts over. Don't know if this is going to be the attack. This is probably just the initial kind of look to see what's going on. RedNeal is actually walling off with buildings here, and I like that. He's already down 2 villagers plus his starting scout. He really can't afford to take more losses. And what is this right here? Spearmen. So he might be on to the fact that Alikog has scouts, or maybe he's just anticipating that. Georgians are known for good cavalry, so maybe he's anticipating that, planning ahead. Alikog is kind of massing up over here at the lake, and RedNeal needs to be careful of that, although he does have 1 spearman, but I don't know if 1 spearman is going to stop 3. Oh, nope. Yeah, they're making a move there, but the spearman actually chasing them off. Maybe around to the back. And now RedNeal with a couple scouts on his own coming back over here, maybe to help the spearmen engage, but it looks like Alikog is pulling back, not going to take the fight. Down here, Alikog himself is just content collecting fish there. Now we have some combat. It looks like 1 scout down. And were those men-at-arms? Well, there's spearmen of his own. I didn't see the land units mixed in. So RedNeal getting 2 nice kills on Alikog's scouts. Of course, he has 2 more. RedNeal has 2, now 3 of his own. And that's a fight I think he can take. Yeah, now he's outnumbered 2-1. Alikog has to pull back. Now he's bringing another up, though. So we're gonna see some scouts. RedNeal going back to the trees here, and he has walled in his wood line. and that is a very smart move. Of course, it does offer a little bit of defense. I want to talk about the winter version of the map beyond the obvious impact of being able to walk across the ice and not being able to build a dock and sail. We've seen in some games, or at least one, where players will retreat to or expand to the outer edge of the lake. If we call this the inner edge, this is the outer edge. On the winter version of the map, you and your opponent can just walk across the lake, relatively unimpeded. Whereas in the summer version, you would actually have to either sail via transport ships or go around the entire lake. So I think the winter version actually plays even more aggressively in that aspect. Alikog has clicked up to castle. RedNeal has the gold, has the buildings, only has about half the food needed here. I take a look. RedNeal has some scouts down here toward Alikog's base. And yeah, Spearman is not going to stand a chance. Yeah. Well, look at this. RedNeal is actually up on the kills here. And Alikog has actually lost a villager. Now that's 2, now that's 3, now 4. Holy cow. I didn't see the first one go down. But all of a sudden, Alikog is finding himself behind on the on kills and eco kills. Oh man. Scout goes down, another villager. Alikog garrisoning though, and RedNeal is gonna have to pull those out. Oh, he did lose 1 to the town center arrow fire. Did he get the mule cart? No, he's got them over here. Alright, but that's bad news for RedNeal. Alikog has hit castle, so he's going to be able to have a leg up here. Blacksmith upgrades, it's only forging. However, no, RedNeal does have forging, so they'll actually be on par with each other in terms of the blacksmith upgrades. Alikog has 2 bit axe, and a horse collar. RedNeal does not have any of those, but he does have wheelbarrow. Okay, Alikog getting wheelbarrow now, also getting husbandry. Both players already have bloodlines. RedNeal has now clicked up to castle, but he's definitely coming in late. Let's take a look here. Ooh, RedNeal fighting these villagers. Alikog has lost a lot, and he loses another there. Oh, but he actually does kill RedNeal's scout right there. It is rough being a villager in Alikog's empire. Yeah, it is. It was initially rough for RedNeal. But it looks like he is able to recover. Now, do keep in mind, RedNeal does have a 5% handicap over Alikog. And look at this over here. RedNeal, Spearman, and it looks like Alikog had sent some knights over, so he's switching from light cav to heavy cav. And they don't fare too well because RedNeal is anticipating that, keeping a Spearman here, and able to clean that up. Now take a look here. 1, 2. He did build a 3rd, he also built a 4th. And he doesn't have much wood. I don't know if it was necessary to build 4. I really don't. He had the 1, so he could collect the food from the bear and these fish. I would have built my 2nd over here. We kind of talked about that. And I would put the 3rd kind of in this location. So I don't really know that you need 4. Especially having wheelbarrow, where your villagers can carry more. It's building a very defensive castle on the outer edge of the lake here. That's an interesting decision. But Noah makes a light and heavy cav. He may deny this. Oh man, Alikog is coming in here really disrupting these plans. And now he's just trickling more scouts up. He only has one knight mixed in with that. Desperately trying to get this castle up. And RedNeal is losing a number of villagers. 96. Is he... Oh my god, he did get it up. Alright, there you go. The castle is up. That was very costly, though. All of a sudden, Alikog is back in the lead on eco kills and overall kills. Yeah. And what does this castle protect? These mills, unless he's planning to build further back, he's got a pretty good set of walls, although there is a gap here. Oh yes, take a look here. Now we have camels. Camels will counter the Georgian cav. Kinda wish I could see some... Kinda wish I could see some towers, because Georgians get those bonuses to towers. But here we have the castle. Jasuni, welcome, man. The castle protects now dead villagers. Yeah. And a very few alive villagers. It looks like he's trying to set up a town center over here. He's gonna have to watch out for the wolves. Oh, but look at that, the castle arrow fire taking care of the wolves for him. Oh, nice. Yeah, dead before they can even get a bite. And what is this? A gulam. Alright. So we have camel riders and gulams. And take a look at this down here. Alikog down here trying to fish. And RedNeal is coming in and disrupting that with his camels. And there's a wolf. The wolf goes down. Gulam's running down here with the camels. Looks like gonna try to take some hits and even it back out on Alikog. Disrupt some fish. Alikog, however, is well protected with these pikemen. And he does have iron casting and scale barning armor for his pikemen. Alikog... I'm sorry, I was looking at the wrong one, but he has the same. Yeah, they both have iron casting and scale barning armor. Cavalry into camels, I'm not sure I like that. I think RedNeal is gonna like it though. Yep, and RedNeal wins that fight. Oh man. And he's got his town center, he's taking some gold over here. And yeah, I really actually like this location. Because you have a lot of wood back here that you can take advantage of, and it's a little bit safer being on the outside of the lake, although like we talked about in the winter version, you can just walk across the lake. In the summer version, you would not really find a better place. Just the location of the resources, a ton of wood, and a large degree of safety from the mayhem of the aggressive starting centers. Look at this though. Alikog setting up a town center over here, and that's aggressive. Well, not really aggressive, but it's definitely encroaching. Kind of at the dividing line there. Take a look at this. The camel's coming up and wrecking more of Alikog's units. RedNeal has 31 eco kills compared to Alikog's 12. Now he's up to 33. And the Vilf... the Vils are actually fighting these camels. My word. Oh, another villager goes down for Alikog. And it looks like another one's gonna drop right here. Oh, she's fighting back, but yeah, she's going down. And now he's making a move here. Oh, and Alikog calls the GG. What a very good first game for RedNeal. Especially when he lost 2 villagers and his starting scout to a bear early on. Decent micro by RedNeal, used the gulams to kill the pikes and the camels on the cavalry. Yes, I did not mention that. I actually did not see that the gulams were killing the pikemen. Although that would be a logical action. And yeah, that's a really good point. Thank you for pointing that out. What a convincing first win for RedNeal. So, as we get ready to go into Game 2, is it going to sweep the set? Or is it going to be a chance for Alikog to get some revenge and even it out? Let's go ahead and take a look at the stats real quick. 13 Ghouloms is the most created unit for RedNeal. Alikog had 14 Pikemen. Oh, I also didn't point this out. Idle TC time, RedNeal, 1:38 and 2.7% on the eco. Not bad for that skill level. Of course, far from flawless, but we don't expect players at this elo level to be flawless. I think they're in the 13 to 1400 range. I don't pull those up ahead of time. I just know it's Alikog is over 150 higher because RedNeal is getting the 5% handicap. If you take a look at Alikog, he had and he, I believe, is the higher seed player. Well, I know he definitely is because RedNeal has the handicap. And he had 7 minutes of idle TC time and 5.2%. So, and I think part of that was just he was being harassed a lot by RedNeal. But yeah, that's a pretty profound difference. All right, let's take a look at the stats here. Military score, RedNeal had just about double. Yeah, almost double what Alikog had. Eco, considerably higher. Alikog actually had more research into technology. RedNeal getting the one castle on the board and a total score difference of, yeah, about 900 there. Almost a 2-to-1 kill to death ratio for RedNeal. 38 losses, and 3 of those were to the bear. 2 villagers and the starting scout. Not a single building was raised this match, interestingly. No conversions, we never saw monasteries or fortified churches, no monks. And then the army had 21 to 17. The total number of military units produced 44 to 35. Alright, taking a look at the eco, this was a bit closer. RedNeal did collect a fair bit more wood and a fair bit more gold. Alikog took 39 stone, that was the only stone collected in the game. And then their food actually was very close. Neither player ever went for any of the relics, of course, not having any monks. Time up, Alikog about 1.5 minutes ahead of RedNeal into feudal, and 3 minutes and 45 seconds ahead of RedNeal into castle. He also explored 72% of the map compared to 56%, and he also had a little bit more technologies researched. And that's a little bit baffling because Alikog was higher, like, had better uptimes and was researching and exploring more, and it seems like RedNeal just caught him off guard. So, I don't know. Maybe Alikog needed to focus a little bit more on defense than just trying to up and gain the advantage by being, I should say, more advanced as the game progressed. Take a look at society. Max villagers, 52 to 47. 1 castle. Yeah. And here's where Alikog really started getting wrecked is last, you know, about 2 minutes of the game when RedNeal got all those villager kills. That really kind of did him in. So, yeah, very convincing game. I'm going to go ahead and pull the second game up. Where is it? Here it is. Okay. Game 2 is on Denali, which was the last map remaining after the map draft. RedNeal is in red. playing as the Vikings on the left-hand side of the map, and we have Alikog in blue playing as the Armenians, the other Mount Royal Civ. Alright, here we go. I did not actually give credit for Chandelure Lake when we were talking about it. There was just a lot going on to cover. Zetnus did an absolutely fantastic job with Chandelure Lake. When I kind of started coming up with ideas for the map pack, I really wanted to see Chandelure Lake included because it's a unique configuration, and I just really liked the location ever since I discovered it in Flight Simulator about 15 years ago. Another thing that I really wanted to include was Denali, which is the highest mountain in the state of Alaska. It's the highest mountain in North America, as a matter of fact, and it's the second highest mountain in the Western Hemisphere, I believe. It may not be. There might be a couple more that are taller than it. I know the tallest mountain in the Western Hemisphere is in South America. But anyway, Denali had to be a map that had to make it into this map pack. For Season 4, Tech Chariot did an absolutely fantastic job being creative. Made a glacier. And the terrain is low here. Slopes upward, players start on the slopes. And the summit is here. He said he didn't want just somebody to make a mountain in the middle of a kind of flat map and call it Denali. So he made a really creative map. And I'm impressed. Alright. So, Alikog playing as the Armenians. Armenians have the warrior priests. They have decent infantry, I believe. Vikings. I am not really sure about a Vikings pick. Oh yes, Denali. Mountain in the middle with dudes running over it like it's nothing. Just wouldn't do. Yeah. Yeah, and that was his basis for creating it as he did. Kind of making players play on the slopes. I want to point out there are no trees. There are no trees on the map, so these are basically your access to wood, or these lumber piles here. Jasuni says, good navy, which is completely inapplicable on this map. Infantry, which is very applicable here. And a strong eco bonus, free wheelbarrow and handcart. That is a good up to have. I was thinking their infantry was fairly good. But you just... I don't generally see people play Vikings if they are not on a known water map. But yes, you do bring up good points, their infantry. I believe they get the Berserkers, or... if I'm not confusing that with... yeah, cheaper mule carts, more effective mule cart techs, get infantry earlier, and have a unique tech, giving their champs more HP than Viking champs. I kinda like Armenians a little bit better in this matchup. Tech says it's also intended to be very painful to play on, kinda like being on the slopes of real Denali. Vikings have the best eco bonus in the game. Okay, so that can kinda balance it out. Okay, all of the relics are up here at the summit. And then you have the glacier, you have sheep, and you have ibex, and then the miniature glaciers merge into one large one that comes down the mountain slope. And you have a lot of gold down here, very little across the rest of the map. In fact, almost none, other than what is at players' starting bases. And we have goods, which are berry bushes. So it's almost like an expedition up to the summit of Denali. And people have left behind supplies and stuff like that. This map is pretty aggressive as well. It's very, very rugged. So elevation comes into play a lot, and you basically walk across the map, walk across the glacier to your opponent. However, to kind of help not catch players too much by surprise, they do have outposts surrounding their starting base, so at least you can get a heads up if something's coming, so you're not caught totally by surprise, perhaps. Right. Eagle Scout looks like RedNeal is going up and down trying to find sheep. Alikog is expanding out down here toward, well, it looks like a bear. Yes, they did hunt a bear, and mining gold over here. What has RedNeal done? Well, I can tell you what RedNeal hasn't done. He hasn't lost any units to bears so far, and that's good. I think he learned from the experience on Chandelure Lake and came over. Excuse me, over to Denali, maybe a little better prepared. Or maybe he just hasn't discovered a bear yet. But it does look like he has milled. He has milled Ibex. Now, I don't know if there was a bear over here that he dropped the mill nearby, or if he just set out and decided to mill the Ibex, specifically. Alright, we have him getting Loom. Uh-oh. Where is it? Oh, no. Oh, no. And Loom hadn't hit, and he tried to drop a mining camp. I think he didn't discover the bear. The bear takes 2 more villagers. Man, that hurts. Alikog scouting out the, I should say, the final approach to, of course, that's the pilot in me. Final approach to the summit. As he's coming up over here. RedNeal with his eagle scouting out Alikog's side of the map. Alikog taking lumber from the piles, looks like collecting food from the sheep that he has discovered. Oh, this is smart. Look at this. RedNeal actually hunting the bear by walling in his villager. Most lower elo players seem to struggle with the bears. They are very powerful, and I think part of it is that they are not like traditional boars where they will attack on sight if you get too close. I think if they didn't do that, they'd be a little more manageable, but then they'd just be a little bit too similar to regular boars. It would just be like they're reskinned. Being on defensive stance I think helps a little bit, but maybe they even need to go on stand your ground. That'd be a little unrealistic, but it would be more manageable. Alikog has hit feudal. He's in fact clicked up the castle. RedNeal just about to hit feudal. I don't know here. I haven't had problems with the bears other than sometimes struggling to find them. Yeah, we didn't put them close, just so there was no real advantage in mill locations, unless we purposely made them close, like just outside the town center border, so that with the intent for them to be milled next to another resource. But yeah, the bears were not placed to be easy to find, so to speak, in most cases. However, we didn't make it so that they would be intentionally difficult. I think it's just random, and they're kind of spread out. RedNeal doing a little bit of market abuse to get up to castle, and he clicks up, and he's also started a partial wall here. He's got the market, wood line, some buildings, and this is the side that faces the glacier to give him a little bit of an additional barrier, so that Alikog's units have to go around. However, this approach up makes him still a little bit more exposed. And yeah, Alikog with a fast castle, greedy fast castle. And it looks like he's coming down here to mine. No, he's coming down here to hunt. coming down here to hunt. And, oh, wow. Yep, I could see the villagers coming across the ice. That is a very aggressive castle. It's not going to take anything out of, it's not going to really take anything away from RedNeal initially. However, if he starts getting blacksmith upgrades for fletching, and then, I can't even remember what the castle age one is called, and then bracer for Imperial to extend the range, and other technologies that kind of boost that. Yeah, alright, there we go, RedNeal hitting castle. Now all of a sudden his woodline will be in danger. As of right now it isn't. But it could expand out there to become in danger. Stone walls. Yep, house is under attack. Yeah. Well, there's fletching that hits. And these woodcutters are going to have to be careful. More stone walls coming up over here. Bodkin arrow, thank you. Jasuni, thank you. Bodkin arrow. It slipped my mind. And I've seen it 150,000 times. And I just could not think of the freaking name of it. So yeah, stone walls. Here we have Town Watch coming in for RedNeal. And that's going to be helpful. Because he's going to need all of the visibility that he can to see if Alikog sneaks the long way around the back. Well, I just heard... Oh, it's a wolf. Okay. Alright, I was a little worried that it was going to be another bear. But take a look right here. We have... What are these called? Composite bowmen. Oh! Oh, man, there's another wolf there. But I think the composite bowman got the kill. No, it didn't. No, you know what? Yeah, I think it did, actually. And that one drops there. That one drops there. And, oh, this is bad news for RedNeal. A real hurry attempt to get this castle up. But these composite bowmen... Why is he just firing at that? Getting ranged fire at the villagers there. That castle's going up. And all of a sudden, his composite bowmen are in trouble. But nope, he gets him outside. And these villagers are exposed. He's got to take care of what it looks like to be the wolves first. And they're going to go down pretty easily. And, yeah, he's not even really concerned about the arrow fire from the castle. He's just in doing mass damage to RedNeal. And it looks like a lumber camp. Kinda need more than a lumber camp. And here we go. Here's some berserkers. Or berserkers. I want to see this. Nope. Oh, well, he does get one. And these two down to pretty much the skin of their teeth there. But RedNeal calls the GG, so Alikog actually evens the set. I like seeing it go 1-1. A lot of players have talked about that when the sets go 1-1, they want to see a third set. And play all three can be a little bit onerous for players sometimes, although not so much. It definitely is some extra work for casting. I'd love to be able to see third games. So maybe there's a way to do a best of 3, even out the score. To where if somebody wins a set 2-0, the points get awarded differently compared to 2-1. Maybe it's just the third game gets played, and it's... I mean, that way it feels like more of a definitive conclusion, not... Pun intended. Oh, pun not intended. But I'll go ahead and laugh at the pun anyway, in case you all don't. A lot of people have brought that up as feedback. I think it's good feedback. Maybe Season 5 or maybe Season 6 we can see a change like that incorporated or tested. But yeah, take a look down here. Alikog actually had more idle TC time, but he had a much lower idle eco time. Much lower idle eco time. 0.6%. Much cleaner play from Alikog this game. 2.9% from RedNeal, but he was also getting harassed a lot. Excuse me. Alright. Overall stats. Most created units, 4 Berserks, compared to 12 Composite Bowmen. And if we take a look, it's... I'll make sure I'm looking at that right. RedNeal had a higher military score than Alikog did. By over double. Eco also was slightly higher, but the technology for Alikog was substantially higher. Both players getting 1 castle up and a score difference of about 300. Military-wise, actually a 1-to-1. 6 units killed, 6 lost. Alikog only killed 4. But RedNeal losing 2 units to the Bears. Jasuni says play all 3 would allow more opportunities to play the maps. Yes, a lot of people have talked about that. That was one of my arguments in favor of a play all 3. Main advantage is the custom maps, but you have relatively little control of which maps you play. You can avoid maps, but it's almost impossible to choose a map to play on. I agree with you on that, and there are advantages and disadvantages to that. And I would love to discuss that topic further. I would do that in the League Feedback channel in Discord, because I don't want to draw out too much talking about it on stream, and I've got a second set to go, so... But yeah, no, you bring up some really good points, and I encourage discussion and League Feedback. I know tech is always looking to see what people like and what they don't, always looking for improvements, and I'm big on being vocal about that kind of stuff. Probably all the composite bowmen dying to castle fire. Yeah. Yeah, he did lose several over there. I do know the Berserkers killed at least one of them. Possibly 2. But yeah, you're right on that. More expensive than Vil, so they contribute more to military score, I'm guessing. Alikog did raise 1 building. Army high, 12 to 5. Resources, actually, RedNeal collected a few more. A lot more wood, a lot more food. Alikog collected a lot more gold and a fair bit more stone. Never went for the relics. And... yeah, that's exploration. Uptimes, again, Alikog ahead on the uptimes, and also this time he explored way more of the map than RedNeal ever did. And I think that gave Alikog a bit of a leg up too, as he knew a way to get around to RedNeal. And yeah, there's all that. Alright. Gonna take a very short break. Very short break. That's gonna be our second set. WeanDinchester versus Wisenatic. I'm out of cookies. I would love some cookies to snack on. I have not eaten dinner. I do have cashews, though. And I love cashews. The downside to them is they are a bit salty and they make you a bit thirsty. But, since that's what I've got right now, I'll snack on a couple, then I'll do dinner after this cast. And I believe Tech Chariot is planning on casting after I do. So... if you're tuned in and you're not Tech Chariot, I highly recommend you go and check him out after this. He does a great job casting. Better than I do. I like that. Tech Cookie Pirate is here to kick ass and eat cookies. He's all out of cookies. I guess my name today is going to be, Alright, folks, well, let me do the intro again. Alright, hope everybody's having a good one. Welcome to Alchemy League Season 4 casting with Cashew Pirate. Cashew Pirate's just more difficult to say. Okay. We are ready for the second set. WeanDinchester versus Wisenatic. I believe WeanDinchester is the highest skill player in the entire league. And Wisenatic is definitely pretty high up there as well, of course, because they're facing each other. No handicap this time. And yeah, this set is listed at the top, so this is probably the highest ranking ELO set of round 2. Jacob, Yakub, I'm not 100% sure how you say that. ... 0 dots, yeah, not really sure there.
I see the light inside you, brighter than the skies. Hold on, just let us escape and fly away tonight.
Not really sure what happened there.
We have the world in our sight, and I know together we'll be alright. Can you see forever we will go?
Okay. So for this this set, let's go ahead and bring up the map draft, take a look at that. So WeanDinchester, of course, Channeler, like the map of the round, picks that, and then he bans Kenai, Denali, and Columbia. And Wisenatic bans Utqiagvik, China, and Yukon. And that leaves Kodiak as the remaining map. So that will be the map for the second game. Channeler Lake, of course, being the map for the first game. Okay, there we go. Civ draft. So WeanDinchester chooses to ban the Persians, the Dravidians, interesting, and the Georgians. Wisenatic bans the Bohemians, the Mongols, and the Malay. Ooh. Now, I believe they do the map drafts first. Right, Tech? Correct me if I'm wrong on that.
We are forever learning, one step at a time.
Yeah, they do.
As long as the world is
Now, it might be a little bit of a delay. Yeah, map first and then Civ. So,
we'll keep the fire burning.
yeah, that makes sense. Civ depends on map. So, I can definitely see... I don't know about the Mongols. That's an interesting ban when there's not a Nomad map being played. But I mean, they have a ton of other advantages, so maybe they just... But Malay is an interesting ban, and that's the first one of those that I've seen. And I think that's an interesting choice because Chandelar Lake, with the potential for a lot of water, and Kodiak, which is guaranteed to have at least a fair bit of water. Hence it being an island map. Okay. Before I get the game rolling, Wisenatic is playing as the Japanese. Actually, they're both playing as the Japanese. We have a mirror matchup. Wisenatic on the left in red, and WeanDinchester in blue on the right. Here we go. And we are back in Chandelier Lake in the wintertime. And I've kind of already covered the nuances of the winter version of the map, so I'm not gonna kind of go over it in detail all again, but just keep in mind, I'll reiterate for anybody who hasn't seen the first part of the video or previous ones. With the lake being frozen, you can walk across it. You cannot build a dock. You cannot sail, of course, but you can walk, and you can construct mills on the ice to collect all of the shorefish that are found in the cracks on the ice. Oh, here we go. Some bear action. And the bear is retreating. Oh, now he's coming forward. Oh, better be careful there. And these bears are tough. Oh, oh, now he's going over this way. Oh, man. Oh, he got it. Okay. He got it. Alright. That's good. So, Wisenatic setting up a mill, actually bringing the bear over here, and setting up in what I would call a quite good location, because you've got 3 cracks in the ice right there. Yeah, oh, and it was very close. It was very close. Yeah, Tech. Where's the one that only has... I'm looking for the one that only had 1 HP. Or 1 or 2, it was extremely low. But, yeah. Anyway. Found the sweet spot for hunting the bear for a little bit there. Yeah, he did. Yeah, just sooner you're right. Let's see, so far, WeanDinchester hasn't gone out on the ice. There's a barracks. You think he retreated that one? Okay, yeah, maybe he did. I wonder if maybe he garrisoned in the town center. Oh, yeah, you better watch out there. See these? Yeah, so it does go down. You take 12, it looks like they're taking 12 HP damage per hit. So 3 strikes, you're out. And 2 will bring you down to 1 HP. And look at this, we have some eagle-on-eagle action. Looks like just taking a couple pop shots at each other, though. And... yeah, okay, WeanDinchester goes out on the ice right there. Good location. Given the bear's right there, I can understand it. Although in terms of relation to fish, I would like to see it maybe closer to here. The bear says, "You're out!" Oh, and there's a goose. A goose that Wisenatic has found, but isn't moving. He probably doesn't even know that he owns it. Uh-oh. Oh, look at this. Who's gonna win this? I guess they're gonna fight to the death. Oh! Yep, and Wisenatic wins that with 3 HP. We have militia coming across the lake, though. Here's another advantage of the, yeah. Oh, yeah, maybe. Who knows? Maybe. But yeah, take a look at this. Oh, and here comes Wisenatic's Eagle. Oh, and he knows. He's got to have seen now that, that militia are coming over for Wisenatic's. Probably for his mill. And this will be interesting. Let's see what happens over here. Some Dark Age aggression. We haven't really seen that. Oh yeah, taking a couple whacks at villagers. They're not gonna win that fight. I don't know, you get all of them fighting those two militia, they probably will. But that'd be quite a disruption to eco. But I want to see what happens here. Oh yeah, no, Wisenatic's prepared for it. But here comes a third militia. That villager's kind of low. Looks like he's pulling back. And look at that, his eagle is actually garrisoned in the town center to heal. So, good use of that. But take a look here. Oh, that militia's gonna go down. And, yeah, looks like WeanDinchester already lost one. I didn't see where exactly it happened. Nope, the second one goes down right there. Oh, and look at this, Wisenatic has archers. Archers may counter these militia. And WeanDinchester still has a minute to go to get into feudal. The question is going into militia for that, is going into militia too much of a setback in time for WeanDinchester, especially when it seems like he didn't get any kills. It's true he got a little bit of disruption, but he didn't get any kills. Instead, those 3 units just went down. Take a look over here now. Wisenatic is archer, well, an archer. Nope, 2 right there. And it looked like they were attacking the gold miners. Oh. He just goes up and whacks him. Now the militia chasing the archers around. Tech says nice win. Yep, for Wisenatic with that one. That is an advantage of the eagle, that it can be garrisoned to heal. Yes, traditional scout, you can't do that. So that's a third advantage. We talked about the other 2. Nope, but an archer goes down there. That's WeanDinchester's first kill of the game. And it looks like a house was set up there to kind of block off. Now these are upgraded to men-at-arms. Oh, it's a wolf. Yep, archers take care of it. Here's another man-at-arms. Take a whack. These archers are kind of low. He's gonna have to be careful there. Yeah. Oh, he got him. Yeah, okay. Well, good. But now over here we've got... Oh, Wisenatic lost a villager, and... Oh, well, now the archer's gonna kill that one. But Wisenatic did lose a villager there. So... It looked like he threw his shield when he fell over. Yeah, so I mean, WeanDinchester did get a little something out of it. You take a look at the idle eco time. WeanDinchester at 2%, Wisenatic at 3.3%. So he has gotten some eco disruption out of that. But only one villager down, and WeanDinchester did lose several military units in that aggression. Now take a look at this. He's seen that Wisenatic has made archers, so he's bringing some skirmishers to deal with the archers, and apparently to harass some fishermen. And the men-at-arms are over here. villager goes down. That one's very low. Yep, he goes down. And Wisenatic... Oh, no, look at that. He actually is turning in and is going to try to sabotage the... And he got him. But no, yeah, that's 4 villagers that he's lost. Now 5. And the skirmishers countering these archers. And that leaves the men-at-arms to deal with the villagers there. Oh, he's garrison. He's going to have to get out of there. He's going to lose that unit. Yep. So, now we see the very early aggression from WeanDinchester pay off. Although, take a look over here. I've been focused on what was going on that side. And over here, Wisenatic sent a bunch of archers and killed 3 of WeanDinchester's villagers. And only now the skirmishers are coming in to harass them off. Wisenatic has hit castle. WeanDinchester is just not ready to click up. So again, where that really early aggression is leading to a bit of a setback is the ability to go up to the next age. And Wisenatic had the advantage going into feudal, and Wisenatic has the advantage going into castle. There's Bodcanero for his archers. I imagine we'll see an upgraded crossbowman here in a moment. Archer goes down, the skirmishers are picking these off behind the trees. I don't know there. And WeanDinchester walling this off. And there's that goose that Wisenatic had early. Hasn't moved. We have a market. 2 gold camps. Or mining camps. For the gold mines there. Alright, let's see. Wisenatic has gone up to Bodcanero. WeanDinchester clicked up to castle. Scale barding armor, bloodlines, so he's going to be going into cavalry, maybe cav archers. And I've been commenting about that. We saw a fair bit of Japanese cav archers, which just seems... WeanDinchester, what's going on? Oh man, is that 1, 2, 3? Yeah. Yeah, that looks like 3 villagers that got killed by that bear. Ooh. That's costly. And of course, these skirmishers are going to pick archers off like nothing. I know they're trash units and people say they suck, but skirmishers are one of my favorite units in the game. Bodcanero for WeanDinchester. Japanese have good cav archers. And +2 against other archers. Yeah, okay. And that's exactly what we see, Japanese cav archers. Very nice. Jasuni is coming in with these good tips. I really appreciate that. Kind of tidbits of information as the game progresses and as I discuss these different things. So real props to Jasuni for being quick with the relevant info about that stuff that I don't know off the top of my head, and that I am too busy to look up at the moment. Although, I mean, I could find it in here, but if I really... What I do is I look at the wiki and just read all about what they have and stuff, and you can't really do that while you're casting. So, text says that bonus makes no sense, historically speaking. Alright, we have elite skirmishers for WeanDinchester. Hold on, up here. Oh yeah, no, more man-at-arms taking these villagers down. Man, he's wreaked havoc. I mean, it's just carnage up here. Wisenatic has lost a bunch of villagers over here. It's lost 16 villagers to WeanDinchester. Apparently there was a period where the Japanese would use bows on horseback. Interesting. Well, I guess that explains it. But look at that. Oh, there was a knight, and Wisenatic's cav archers come over. Oh, but he calls the GG. He calls the GG suddenly. Alright, now, I'm gonna laugh at this here. Because of the irony. Wisenatic's most created unit, 19 archers. And WeanDinchester's most created unit, 19 skirmishers. Which is why in AoE 4 they also have a unique cav archer unit. Interesting. Alright, so let's just take a look at what's going on over here. We saw this get cleaned up. There's a knight over here at the gold. Men-at-arms coming in off the ice over toward the base. Oh! I did not see that. Wisenatic walled in his, woodcutters over here. And they got in. They got in. And, yeah, so I have a feeling that may be where a good number of the kills were. I mean, there's at least one. But yeah, I mean, with the knights, yeah, I can see why he may have called that. So we're gonna give WeanDinchester the first win, and we'll get ready for game 2. And I'm really hoping the next cast that I do with Channelar Lake is on the summer version of the map. I do have a slight preference for the summer version, but that's more so alluding to the fact that all 4 times I've cast this map, it has been the winter version, and I'm ready for a little bit of a change of pace. Let me get the second game up. Oh, and you know what? I didn't look at the stats. Shoot. Forgot to go over stats. I don't know if it's... Yeah, no, we'd have to go back through and replay it. Sorry, guys. Sorry. Prematurely skipped over that. Alright, here we are on Kodiak Island. Or, Kodiak. As we mentioned, Zetnus made Channelar Lake, did a fantastic job with it. I made Kodiak Island, so this is the map I made. And I would love to say I did a fantastic job with it. And it seems like a lot of people agree. However, I am very highly critical of the map. And I'll talk about that a little bit. Well, this is the winter version of Kodiak, which is nice. Not my favorite, though. I'll get caught up in chat here in a moment. Yeah, Jasuni says, Knights and Gold Mine and Woodline might have not been quite yet, but it was going to be devastating damage soon, and pretty much no way to stop it. Wisenatic was much in this game, yeah. And now, if the Cav Archers managed to do similar damage, he could have potentially come back. I agree with that. The Cav Archers did do some disruption, but he wasn't able to get out of them what WeanDinchester was getting out of his men-at-arms and actually the skirmishers as well, I think, got a few little kills. Alright. Kodiak Island. In red, we have Wisenatic up here playing as the Vikings, and in blue, we have WeanDinchester again playing as the Armenians. So we're going to see how this is going to go. Alright, as I mentioned, I made Kodiak Island, and or Kodiak is the name of the map, based on Kodiak Island, the location. It is a large, kind of irregularly shaped island. It came out a little bit more round than I wanted it to. And I can't get the mountain range to go consistently, as much as I would like to. It's supposed to cut the island pretty much in half, and be difficult but not impossible to pass over. And on this seat of the map, you kind of have the mountains clumped to this side, and they extend out a little bit, and then all of this over here is pretty much flat. Easy to pass other than the bear guarding this passage. Can't go up this way.
Yes.
You can go up over this, but then you can't really get through much of this here, so you basically have to go either through the valley, or around, or on water. So I am not an overly big fan of this spawn of the main island. Of course, you have the 4 islands out on, or there's more than 4, it's just the islands in the 4 corners. Sometimes they clump together and make a large island, sometimes they're segmented like this, and sometimes it's kind of a hybrid. Water, of course, surrounding all the islands. Yeah. So that's Kodiak in a nutshell. Alright, in terms of this matchup, Vikings, very strong water civ, good infantry civ, Armenians, and you know what? That is the exact same matchup that we saw in our Denali game that Alikog and RedNeal played. Armenians have good navy, good infantry. Vikings have really good navy, good infantry, good eco bonuses. So, I like this. I want to say I like the Vikings a little bit better on this map, whereas on Denali I liked the Armenians a little better. But this'll be a good one. Maybe Wien can get revenge for Vikings. No, Wisenatic is playing as the Vikings. But yeah. I see what you're saying, and he could also even out the set. What do you have? Oh, bear. Oh. That is so funny. That's kind of exploitable right there. It's like the bear runs up the hill, turns around, and is like, nah, forget it. I don't know why I did that. It's a bear that can't make his decision. I think Armenian drones would do well against longboats if that ever occurred. Ooh, good idea. We'll see if that happens. But no, here we go. So, WeanDinchester building a dock, and Wisenatic is the eagle over here to harass him. He does wall it off, though. But, oh, that villager's low. Only 3 HP. Wow. Should have randomized the bear's search radius. Yeah, I think that would have been a little too unpredictable and variable there. Oh. Oh no, now he's bringing his eagle to deal with Wisenatic's eagle. Interesting. But that villager is essentially trapped and useless until this situation over here is resolved. What if the bear would attack from 10 tiles instead of 5 this time? Yeah, I think as powerful as they are and people are struggling with them, no, you don't change that unless you lower the the attack, like... Yeah, I would not do that. They're tough enough as they are. Wisenatic getting a good fishing eco setup over here. And there's a boar. It does look like WeanDinchester lost a villager to a boar. Or to a bear. Bear. Well, boar bear, kind of. Funny thing is, male bears are called boars. The females are called sows. Looks like this villager is able to get out of the walls and down to 1 HP. It was at 40. Or at, 3, rather. Out of 40. It's down to 1. Both players have clicked up, but Wisenatic is going to hit Feudal first. WeanDinchester has just under 2 minutes to go. Deletes the walls. It needs to retreat and heal this guy. Already lost 1 villager. You don't really want to lose another. Wisenatic has lost a unit. I'm guessing probably his eagle. Alright, double bit axe coming in. So... oh, check. That's a good one. So, what if they're called boars? Oh, man. Yeah, good fishing setup over here from Wisenatic. WeanDinchester getting set up on fish as well. One of my criticisms of this map from the other day when I did a cast was that I saw too much water combat, but it was early and it transitioned into a very fierce fight on land. And water ultimately really didn't come into play in terms of combat for pretty much the second half of the match. So we'll see what happens here. I think I would have liked to... I would have liked this map to have less water. Although, it was difficult to do that without basically having the shore cut off and keeping the odd kind of configuration of the island. So it would either end up being 2 round, or it would basically turn into a... basically a version of 4 lakes. Kind of 4 bays. Or in some cases, 2 or 3 lakes where only one side would intersect, and you could sail on one half, you could sail on the other half, but you couldn't go around. We do have some water combat over here. Wisenatic has some galleys, and WeanDinchester has fire galleys, and oh, it looks like he's kind of pinning them a little bit. They're on the run, and those are going to win. Well, not if you're bringing only 1 over. They'll take that down. Here's another galley from Wisenatic. What's going on up here? Oh, just the eagle sitting. Standing. Looking intently into the woods. WeanDinchester's fire galley under attack over here. Ah, yes. Yeah. Not gonna take that fight with 3, no 4. I mean, even with 2 fire ships, I think 4 galleys will win. Or 2 fire galleys, 4 regular galleys will win. 3, that'll... Oh, well now, no, you only have 2. And that villager needs to get out of there. Oh, let's see what happens over here. WeanDinchester got to castle, and Wisenatic only now clicking up, so that's kind of flipped. Now WeanDinchester has the age advantage. And I think we're going to see an upgrade to fire ships, and Wisenatic may be in trouble. At least on water. Okay, ship went down there. Yep, now we have fire ships. I don't think you can engage that many galleys, even with those. I don't think that would be a very good idea. Yep, 1 goes down. Is he gonna take anything with it? Yes, he does. Okay. But yeah, he's basically expected to lose that fire ship. especially with another galley coming for reinforcement. Yep, it goes down there. WeanDinchester setting up a second town center on this wood. Not too far from the gold. This is a pretty good location, I think. Good wood. Berries over here. There's a bear. And in some, not all locations, I tried to place bears with the berries. Kodiak Island is full of Kodiak bears, which are a variant of brown bears, similar to grizzly bears, and a ton of berries. And bears are omnivores, they are not carnivores. A lot of people have that misunderstanding. Bears love plants, fruit, berries. So I said I thought it would be kind of thematically appropriate to place bears near berries. And you'll see that. So there's a bear and a berry. This is a good milling opportunity right here for WeanDinchester if he does expand out in this direction. And ton of fish. And the deep water, of course, very shallow and then medium. The deep water is full of snappers. Now, there are Pacific red snapper. They are not the snappers, I think, that are intended to be represented by this game. These are more Gulf, tropical. But these were the only fish in the game that I could find that were red like that. So, you gotta make use with what you got. Jack says they're an infestation. Alright, Wisenatic setting up another town center over here, but take a look. Look at this. Oh, I'm super glad to see these. Warrior priests. Healing the Eagle Scout. Very interesting. Oh, so look at that. The Warrior Priest and the Eagle Scout are actually going in to harass villagers, causing Wisenatic to garrison a number of times. And I hear a bear somewhere huffing and puffing. Here we have Viking longboats, yes! Yeah, oh yeah, take a look over here. They're just chipping away at this house. He can take the house down, he can go back over here to the gold, and not have to worry about going really close to the, town center and getting hit by the arrow fire. We have a siege workshop here. We have a villager. We have another warrior priest. Yes. Fortified church, and WeanDinchester has 2 relics. There are 5 relics on the map, all of them on the main island. Third one is back here. These 2, on the other hand, easily accessible for WeanDinchester. Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, you know what? 5, and then the Armenians start with 1. Yeah, so that's why we're seeing 6. I was gonna say, this map shouldn't have 6. But yeah, no, that explains it. Okay. Oh, and take a look at this. War galleys. War galleys. Don't really see fire ships. But here we have a war galley and some longboats coming in. This will be fun. It's a good mix of naval and land combat going on. I like this. This is just a big armada getting ready to face off. I know people tend to grumble about naval combat, that it's overpowered and stuff, but I just enjoy it. And that's probably just because I like naval history and stuff. Got a mangonel that's basically taken Wisenatic off of this, off of its starting town center. It's coming to the back to build, to get gold. I'm guessing maybe some counter siege. I knew you were gonna say it, Tech. I just knew you were gonna say it. It is. But it's still something that I really enjoy. So that was my intent with this map, to where you would see naval combat, but also land combat. And this, these two players are doing a good job of that. WeanDinchester more so with the land. But their overall kill to death is pretty close. Start taking docks down. Oh! Mangonel goes down, but not before it kills a villager. Warrior Priest goes down to the arrow fire from the town center. Wow. Oh, and take a look at this. This is so funny. The Eagle Scout's chasing them, and they just walk right by. Oh, the Eagle goes down. I was gonna say, they walk right by the Warrior Priest, and just be like, oh, well, who's this guy just standing here looking at us? But no, now the Warrior Priests come over to harass Wisenatic's gold miners. Ooh, villager goes down. And it looks like they're healing. And he chases Wisenatic off of gold. Oh, but look at this. He's taking a couple shots right to the chest from these war galleys. And Warrior Priest goes down. That one does too. Yeah. With this armada here, I don't think... Yeah, he cannot possibly expect to win that fight right there. Ships go down, docks go down, now Wisenatic's fishing is threatened, and it's kind of forced over here to this side of the map. Look down here. See, Wisenatic, he's just taking down WeanDinchester's docks over here. He's still got one standing, can't really get anything out of it. But while he's focused on that, and I know you need to take the enemy's ability to create naval units out to be able to control the water, but meanwhile, he's just up here doing the same thing. And take a look at this. Holy cow, 2 castles, one right after the other. I mean, right next to each other, smack dab in the center of, pretty much the center of Wisenatic's starting base. So everybody's kind of forced over here. And, yeah, look at this, 55 eco kills for WeanDinchester, and only 9 for Wisenatic, which is pretty costly. And now we're going to have a battle of the armadas again, but there's just a lot going on. Castles, battering rams coming down to take down Wisenatic's castle, and yeah, I think he's disrupted so much that I don't think he can really do much about it. I don't think we're going to be too far from the GG here. Castle goes down. Town center. Yep, town. Excuse me. Yeah, town center goes down. And WeanDinchester clicks up to Imperial. He's also getting gold shaft mining here. And Wisenatic trying to get another dock down. And, I mean, he is cleaning up on water. But his situation on land is pretty much beyond the point of no return, I would say, at this point. I mean, he doesn't have anywhere near the resources to click up, while WeanDinchester is only less than a minute and a half from hitting Imperial. Oh, we have some composite bowmen over here. Yeah, there's the GG right there. Okay. Alright, there we are. So, WeanDinchester sweeps this set. And let's take a look. Most created units, 33 war galleys to 20 war galleys. And I am not going to forget the stats this time. lot of idle eco time for both players. A lot of idle eco time. Now, Wisenatic was just under so much pressure. He kept getting taken off of resources and unable to really work with what he had. I don't know why WeanDinchester had as much idle eco time, and there's a fair bit of idle TC time from both players for a 30 or 33-minute game. There's almost 25% idle time. Right there. See, GG's, yeah. Yeah, these were two entertaining games for sure. Look at this. 57 eco kills for WeanDinchester, only 9 for Wisenatic. And it looks like both players lost 2 villagers each to Bear, probably. So, let's go to the stats. I'm not forgetting this time. I would go back to the other one, but I'm not going to spend the time fast-forwarding, reloading and fast-forwarding the cast. Or the replay in Capture H, just for that. So, military scores were actually close. Eco scores were not. Technology scores were close. Society scores were equal, with both players having 1 castle. And the overall score there. Military. About not quite 1.5 to 1. Raised to Destruction was a 7 to 4 in favor of WeanDinchester. No conversions, no desertions. Of course, warrior priests cannot convert. However, they can carry relics and they can heal. And they can fight. Army high right there. Economy, yeah, oh, you can just see Wisenatic's plateau toward the end of the game. So you can tell really how much disruption he had. Resources, of course, WeanDinchester collecting more of everything, substantially more of everything. Other than food was the closest, there was 1,000 difference. He also got 2 of the relics, getting some gold. Times. We talked about this. Wisenatic was first up into feudal, but then WeanDinchester was first up into castle. The game ended before WeanDinchester hit imperial, even though he had clicked up. Exploration was close, and the technologies, WeanDinchester had a little more. There's your society stats. And there we are, folks. Alright, well, that's the end of my cast for today. Done 2 really good sets. Alikog, RedNeal, Wisenatic, and WeanDinchester. Thank you all for playing in the league, supporting us. Good luck to all 4 of them in the rest of Season 4. I look forward to bringing some more casts for you all, probably later in the week, Wednesday, Thursday, perhaps. Be sure to go check out Tech Chariot, because I think he's got one planned for just after this. Go over, check him out, support him. Of course, he's the host. I was the map organizer, but Tech really has all the gears that make that really make the league possible. There's a lot of people that have gears in the machine that make it all work, but Tech has put so much into it. He does a really good job with it. Great caster. Be sure to go check him out. And I'm going to switch back to the intro screen here. Going to finish up for the night. Until next time, folks, take care, stay safe. Go check out Tech Chariot. We'll see you next time.
But it's no use, 'cause you can't stop it from shining through. It's true, baby, let the light shine through. If you believe it's true, baby, won't you let the light